On the outside, the building is organized through a series of horizontal layers, which then between those layers have a manipulated brick surface. And the image of a building, in an interesting way, rhymes with what you encounter on the inside of a building, which is a building predominantly made of shelves with documents, files, books. So the expression of a building somehow gives a clue as to the content of the building, and we found that a very interesting concept.
The point in working with brick is that you have certain rules you have to observe, and these rules have existed for centuries. There's the module of the brick, there are the idea of how you stack brick on top of each other. And once you learn that and realize that these are your basic tools, then the way of expression, that can be multiple.
The historic city center of Delft is built up of bricks. It's a brick city by history. And I think the reason to use also really the bricks on the archive building is resonating with the historic city center in terms of material, in terms of associations, was very important for this building, particularly on this kind of spot which is slightly outside of the city. Basically an archive building, except for the offices and the study rooms on the ground floor, doesn't have windows. It's a building that does not ask for a certain expression. You really have to give it to the building.
We included the cultural aspects of this building and also the public aspects by simply dividing it horizontally. Some parts of the building are closed, like the archives themselves, and then there are the public areas which are based on the ground level.
And the fascinating thing is the facade looks random, but is not random at all. It's a repetitive pattern, but slightly shifted, slightly organized in a different way so that your eyes don't read repetition, but actually there is an enormous amount of construction logic on the outside of this building that would allow for such a facade to be built.
Brick is one of the most wonderful material because it lasts and it has a permanence, and that is what an archive basically also is about.
What for me was really the joy in this design process was actually finding the balance between, I would say, the everyday or the kind of common surroundings and the expression of what is actually on the inside, which is this extraordinary treasure of history. And that balance, finding that expression, I think makes the building very relevant, and also was like, for me, the importance of the project.